This is college football at its absolute best.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
I love it, baby.
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, June 23rd. Let me say it again. I think I said it on Thursday. Your Tennessee Volunteers will play for a chance to be a national champion, the national champion. Fire me up. Game 3, winner take all, Monday night in Omaha. Buddy, can't ask for much. I mean, you can ask for a little bit more, and that's national championship. You can't ask for much more.
I just love that it's a Monday. Like, of all days, it's a Monday.
Well, it's a college sport. They, no matter what they do, they try to end this thing on Sunday. No matter what, it's gonna get to a Monday night.
Yeah.
It has to.
I just love that every national title is like on a weekday. It makes zero sense. But here we are. We're playing for it. Usually we're watching other teams play for it. This time it's us. And if you're there, you might as well just win the whole thing.
Might as well. It's and as much as I would love for it to start on Friday, would have loved for today to be game 3. The build-up Saturday was fun. The build-up Friday you got to have your Friday without worrying about the game. It was fun. So I won't dog the NCAA too much on this decision. I mean, let's be honest, nobody wants to play on a Monday, but the build-up was fun, and I got to just enjoy Thursday, go into the weekend Friday with no worries, just the thought of you're playing for national championship, that was nice. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to dog this one. I would have preferred to win it in 2 anyways. We knew what the likeliness of that happening was going to be. These are 2 great teams, the 2 most consistent teams all year. You knew how that was probably going to play out. Looked like it was going to play out not in Tennessee's favor all day yesterday for a good portion of today, but Tennessee dug in. Dylan Dreiling, dog. Cal Stark, dog. Drew Beam, dog. Aaron Combs, dog. Nate Snead, dog.
Yeah, just keep them rolling. Dude, this is so much fun. I really don't know like what to. It's one of those I don't know what to do with my hands moments. Like it's kind of surreal that we haven't played for anything significant on this podcast, but like in 26 years. So it's a wild time for us. We don't know what to do, but we're here, and again, kind of like I said earlier, like if you're here, you might as well just go win it.
I'm kind of curious, and listeners, please chime in. As fans, has it set in? For me, it hasn't. That one win away from a national title, Friday or Saturday afternoon, 2 wins away. This afternoon, 2 wins away. It never set in that you were so close. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just I've never experienced it, so I haven't gotten to. I hope if the win happens that it'll set in soon that Tennessee's national champions. But for some reason, it's listen, man. I'm just I'm a fighter. All right, next game mentality. It doesn't matter which one they're all the same, right? 9 innings. But yeah, it's weird. It's I don't know if it's because I was so upset for the entirety of the game last night and then majority of the game. It just hadn't. I haven't allowed myself to feel it yet.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like, if you win tomorrow, like Tuesday's going to suck regardless. Like, if you're traveling back from Omaha or you got to work, it's going to suck. But if you win, It sucks a hell of a lot worse.
I don't think it'll suck at all if you win. I think you take those lumps.
True.
I think you take the national champion hangover over any hangover you've ever had in your life.
Oh,
I mean,
your boss will understand.
They should,
especially if you're in the Knoxville area. They might be right there with you.
State, national, federal holiday. Nobody goes to work. Tuesday if it happens. It's a great time to be alive. Today was a ton of fun to get. I mean, listen, I don't think calling them dingers does them justice. So I'm not even going to refer to them as that, especially, really, but I don't know what the distance was on both of them, but Cal Starks off the bat was just a missile. Yeah, it was fun. Tony Vitello loved it. Fired that man up. It was a fun, and now I know a lot of people were upset with how we played, but in terms of two guys going out there and just pitching their absolute butts off, I mean, you were watching two studs just go at it.
I mean, that's what the best pitching team in the country does. Texas A&M, Tennessee, they are the two best at what they do on the mound. And yesterday was a weird game because you got, we hit their ace pretty good. They hit Causey pretty good. They had a lot more runs than we did, but, the hits were kind of similar. I think they ended up with more, but it was kind of similar. Today felt like that more of what it should be is, 7 to 7 hits. And I think if you're in those kind of games, I think it always goes advantage Tennessee because of what they can do with the long ball.
Right. And yes, Tennessee had 12 hits to A&M's 13. They couldn't get them over the plate like A&M was able to. But they were in striking distance. Those 2 home runs in the 7th really, really hurt Tennessee. It just completely put it at a distance. If they hadn't, Tennessee is in a position in the 9th to win the game, as an example. But I think what really sucked about Friday is you didn't play good. You were in striking distance at the end, and then with Aschenbeck, it also just felt as well as he pitched. Tennessee, when it was all said and done, didn't really touch him. But they're late. They're late in the thing. Let me try this again.
Yeah, Caleb Sepson, he's delayed a little bit, so he's going to come back. And it was weird. Right at 8:00, the power went out. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but yeah, here we are playing for a national championship, and it is weird. You're playing for a national championship, but it's best of 3. But tomorrow really is a national title game. The first thing I kind of want to do, looking in this game, is what you got from Drew Beam. I mean, that was an all-time moment for him to go out the way that he did. Yeah, he didn't end up getting the win, but it's kind of been that way all year long. He just hasn't, for whatever reason, Saturday or whatever game he pitches, the run support just hasn't been there. So he got it done today. He shoved and got the ball to Combs, and he shoved, and he's going to go down as one of the best, I think, to ever put on a Tennessee uniform. I mean, I was looking at it today. He has 26 wins in 51 appearances, only 8 losses, 242 total strikeouts. I mean, he's been a starter since he got on campus, and I think all those appearances except one was a start. Yep, only one. He had one more. He came out of the bullpen, I think, one game. What's up, Joey? In his freshman season, but man, what a performance from him to do that on that stage. And it just seems like when the lights shine bright, that's when Tennessee's dudes really come to play. You saw that from Dylan Dreiling earlier. You saw it from Drew Beam today. And I think we should see it tomorrow from friend of the pod, Xander Sechrist.
Dude, that game had me stressed out. Nice hat, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, dude, we're matching.
Damn. we got that on.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that was a stressful game. We went down to Fieldhouse Social, got front row in those leather seats. So my neck is stiff as a board, but good spot. Good spot.
Worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was worth it. Except for the tab at the end, it was not worth it. But it's okay. Scotty wanted me some more money. So no, I haven't consumed a single Jello shot the entirety of postseason baseball, which feels
can't start now.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not superstitious, but a little stitious.
No, that's not true. You did when we were at Yeehaw.
Oh,
you did have one.
Damn. All right, so maybe.
Yeah, some high roller was in Yeehaw just slinging out Jello shots to everybody.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
he was doing buckets after. I mean, he probably gave out more than 100 Jello shots.
Yeah,
well, they're like $4 or $5 at
range, but yeah, props to him. Do you have any kind of takeaways from the game other than like Tennessee won, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It feels like it's like been a really slow start for the first. I mean, for them, like the first couple innings of like the last two games. I just felt like today it was like the barrels are just not hot and like kind of. I mean, the umps zone's like super tight. So I mean, Billy, for example, was just like not swinging, and everyone's just kind of like not locked in. So it's kind of like, dude, like I mean, again, that's why last night up until like the 9th, I was like, this team can get so hot with the bat. Like if you get a little momentum, so it really can go at any time. But yeah, it was stressing me out. I was glad that we were able to keep at least tonight them to 1 all the way throughout the game because we didn't score until was it top 6th, 7th. So I mean, it was stressful for those first because you're sitting there, you're like, okay, when are the runs going to come? Because obviously you have to assume Tennessee's going to at least get a little bit hot or find some momentum. So it's just it's been stressful the past 2 games trying to be like, is it going to come? And I think defense is what kept them in the game, obviously, and that's where they struggled last night.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Was defense with last night's game? It was like, I mean, you dug yourself in a hole that you really couldn't get out of with how good A&M's pitching is. Now I know, like, we saw against Florida State, and we kind of made it interesting late in the game, but that was a big ask to kind of do that again against Oz and Beck. And we scared him a little bit, and that's why they had to throw him. And I think that kind of favored Tennessee a little bit. I know they got him hot today, and then Tennessee took the lead, so they didn't throw him, kind of save him for tomorrow. But I think so far, I think you've got like Tennessee, they're going to come out and hit home runs, and that's how we score a lot of our runs. And A&M's going to pitch really well and strike out a lot of batters, and Tennessee's got to do better with runners on base. Like that is the biggest thing for Tennessee. You can't go over with runners in scoring position. That's just not going to win you a ball game. And Tennessee needs to get more from those first 3 hitters. I know Blake Burks hit a little bit, but Christian Moore, he got that hit today, but hasn't really done much since. And Billy just isn't seeing the ball great right now. But that meat of the order that's been so consistent for you, Blake and Billy and Christian get all the accolades and the love, but Dylan Dreiling, Hunter Ensley, Kavaris Tears, those 3 guys have really like set Tennessee apart from everybody else, just having guys like that in the lineup.
Yeah, and that's kind of where that depth comes into play. Like, I don't know, you just start freaking out about, a lot of teams, their star guys or the guys that you kind of depend on don't have it, and that's where you kind of slip in games. So it's been nice to have the back end of the order kind of step up and kind of be hot when they need to. Dude, Cortez was nuts today. That was he like 96 pitches or something like that, 95? And probably 20% of those were over 100 miles an hour. I thought he was going to stay in for like 50 pitches max with how hard he was throwing. I don't know how his arm just didn't get obliterated.
And when you're throwing like that hard, it tends to flatten out a lot. But, dude, he had so much run on a 101-mile-an-hour fastball. Like, some of that is – I understand Tennessee doesn't love striking out, and we had 12 strikeouts today. We had 17 yesterday. But, man, that's really tough to hit with that much run coming all the way across the plate.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then Aaron Combs clutched up. Like I was really impressed with. Was it a slider that he kept throwing that was just getting them caught on their heels a bunch, or
it's dirty.
that was just filthy and was just consistent, and they just couldn't figure it out for a couple innings. And I think he stayed until the eighth, or I guess it was ninth, his eighth, and then obviously Kirby came in for like 4 pitches. And that's that was going to happen. You knew Snead was going to have to come in and save it, and it did. Again, I don't prefer to make it feel like my heart's deep in my ass that hard, but
that's Tennessee.
Happen. No, exactly. That's
it's par for the course.
It makes it pay off so much more when you actually don't have, like, when you just take care of business. But yeah, it's crazy, dude. 1 game away. Okay, like Caleb was right earlier. I think there's like something about being a Vols fan, for at least in like my lifetime, that I don't know. There's always like something, because like obviously a championship is like kind of your end goal. Like that's obviously what everybody wants. And there's always like a hurdle for us, and it's always like an excuse of like, oh, like this didn't happen, so we were like this close and could have. And it's like, you just have to win tomorrow, and like you did it. And it's like, wait, that doesn't seem right. Like, what is there to complain about? Like, is there not like a problem with us that like I don't know. So it's crazy. I don't think it's set in for majority of fans yet. And it probably won't until that last play happens tomorrow, regardless of what happens. But if we do win, who knows?
Yeah, it's definitely weird. Like it hasn't really hit me yet. It probably won't until we win tomorrow, or until we win tomorrow. I'm just gonna say that. Just a solid performance today. Like not getting like kind of bend don't break kind of thing. Like they had runners on at some point, but Tennessee was able to get out of it, get some ground balls. You had that huge back pick from Cal to kind of give Tennessee the momentum and kind of ride that wave. And then you knew at some point we were going to get the bats going. Exactly. Somebody was going to run into a barrel at some point. They were going to have to go to somebody else. Cortez couldn't throw forever. Yeah. He's not like Jay Johnson and will throw Paul Skeens 158 pitches. And like Tennessee did a good job of like working counts and getting that pitch count up for him where you could get him out of the ball game. And like we hit him okay. Like there were some hits, there were some walks. But when bases like got loaded or you had guys on, like Tennessee just couldn't find a way to get them in until that ball hit Dylan Dryling's bat. As it does so many times in his 2-year career. I mean, the dude is just absolutely made of ice.
Yeah.
Stone cold killer.
So filthy. That was absolutely – it was just – and again, it was like you can just feel the energy. It's like it's just seeing how the Vols are, it's going to come. And like – but obviously that happened, and then it's massive because you have the lead, and the way, you're pitching and stuff, having any lead takes so much off your plate. But it wasn't until Stark, added on with 2 more. What was that, in the 7th?
Mm-hmm. Stark did it in the 8th.
8th. He was due. We can say that.
Yeah. He was due. 0 for 16. I think with 9 strikeouts in the College World Series. There was going to be a time where it's got to happen at some point. I mean, due is an understatement. I love being at baseball games and like somebody's 0 for 3, which is like kind of normal, and they're like, "Oh, he's due right here."
No.
0 for 16 is definitely due.
I saw a tweet that was like, "I'll be damned if a Tennessee player is going to go 0 for 17." That's like that's where 16 is one thing. We are not going 0 for 17. No. Not today. Yeah, and Stark stepped on that ball. I actually called it, but it was just like a random thing where just like, you can tell. I think it was like 2-2 in the count or something like that. And he was like, dude, he just a little toe tap, that little extra thing. You're like, this guy wants to absolutely mash this ball.
Oh, dude. And like both of those
so much further out there, dude.
Yeah. Both of those hits were like off the bat. You're like, oh God.
Yeah. Well, because the wind was blowing in pretty heavy today, at least like halfway through the game. And everyone, dude, that's okay. Here's the thing. I had some people behind me that like 2 things. One, if we're on defense and a ball gets popped up in the air and you cheer immediately as if like it's already been secured, that happened multiple times today. Where like you can't like be like that. Like it's pop up, everyone's like, yeah, and I'm like, it's college baseball, dude. This isn't like Aaron Judge feeling this ball. Like let's just hold on. There's that, and then like it's not like everyone just like the pop of the bat. They're like, that's gone. And I think people are used to seeing Lindsey Nelson, and like they're just like, you can kind of see the swing. You're like, that ball's absolutely in the parking lot. But Charles Schwab's a different story. Okay, like let's chill out. Everyone went crazy. I don't remember who hit it, and we were still down 1-0. But their left fielder wasn't even within 50 feet of the warning track. Like it was, I don't think he moved from his spot. Like everyone was like, oh, and I was like, what are you doing? Like this is a whole different field. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, those two off the bat, especially Starks, I was like, that ball is gone.
Yeah, it's a lot of like, especially on like watching on TV, that field is so big where you have to like, when it hits the bat, you're like, oh, and then like you have to wait a little bit for it to like go in the crowd, and then you can start to celebrate. Whereas like in Lindsey Nelson, I don't know if it's just the sound of it. Maybe you just like, yeah, see ya.
Yeah, you can tell, and the wind's blowing different and stuff, so it's just
Caleb, you back?
We'll try it.
Okay.
Are we mobile?
We're mobile.
Okay, I like it.
All right, looks clean. I like it.
I mean, mobile somehow works well, but listen, we just roll with the punches. We lose game 1, make it up in game 2.
Yep.
And then
always got to have that cup on.
Then we go win the whole damn thing.
Yep.
Where y'all watching the game tomorrow?
I think we have to watch it from the pool.
Yeah,
I think you have to.
I had to pee so bad the entire
not that
play,
that's a bad place to watch it, but
whole 9th inning. Probably not a good place to watch it at 7:30.
Yeah.
Probably the whole, I don't know, bottom
easier.
of the 8th. At least the whole 9th inning. I had to pee really bad, but I didn't want to get out of the pool and risk any bad juju.
Yeah, because you're that guy that have to like stay either in the bathroom or wherever you're pissing.
You're a little stitious.
Yeah,
100%. I watched the ending of the Kentucky game in 2019 SEC semifinal. I watched it from that hallway behind the Jumbotron and Fieldhouse Social.
Oh yeah.
We started going on a run while I was waiting on the bathroom, so I watched the finish of that game from that hallway.
It's not bad. You got TV angles. You're not you're not in the bathroom at your own house where you're just yelling for like audibles and hearing what you're just trying to catch a vibe off listening. So it's not 100%. Too bad. 100%. We'll see. I wanted to go check out. I don't know how the watch parties have been down on campus yet. I don't know if they're like super family friendly or if they're like.
I bet it was scorching hot yesterday.
I bet today was way worse too.
Oh yeah. I bet it was, but both of them, like you stand outside right now, you're sweating. So.
Again, I go back to, I think we talked about this on Thursday. If you like this weather more than cold, screw you. Screw you. It makes no sense. This sucks.
You want to what? Me?
You heard me.
Yeah. I love this weather over the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would. But yeah, I guess it's good baseball weather. I mean, I like how everyone's like, yesterday, they're like, Tennessee looks defeated. I'm like, they just look hot. Everyone just looks miserable at Charles Schwab. There's an old lady. I don't know. She looked like she's about to die. I think it was a Tennessee fan.
Everybody's sunburned.
they pan to somebody and they're just fanning themselves, looking like they're gonna die. I don't know if it's worth it. I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't help that they're all just funneling Jello shots instead of water. Rocco's is gonna be hit with some kind of class action when this is all said and done. But it's for sure. So I think the Jello shot has become it jumped the shark with LSU coming in and buying like 20,000 or whatever they bought.
I just don't think that's because you've set a new standard where it's like you're going to have some sort of like executive donation from someone super to be able to
It's good. I mean, they give like $1, $2, maybe $3 to charities. That's cool. But yeah, it's not the same. This year's competition, I guess, has been fun, even though I don't know what A&M's doing. Tennessee kind of crowdsourcing it, going to the Venmos. I guess it's cool, I guess, but it's better than the guy from Raising Cane's coming in and just buying a whole
not cool
whole lot.
Not cool.
Yeah.
Like that.
I'd like to talk to like more people that are in Omaha because I did talk to one person there and he was telling like he was at Rocco's and everything, and like the atmosphere is like. It's like good, but it's like not as intense as like a SEC football game. Like, how there's like a huge buildup before,
right?
Where there's like you walk into the stadium and maybe it's just like
that
the
it's hot.
Stadium and the crowd Yeah, maybe that too. But there's just like that sense of nervousness like the whole time.
Well, and to be fair, not everyone, a lot of people there have been there for a week now.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, the line
so it's hard to do what?
The line to like get into this place and stuff, like it's probably just a nightmare anyway. Like after being there for a couple of days, I'd probably not even thinking about going back in.
Yeah.
Have they tried getting into the Ferris wheel? There's nothing that says national championship like a good old Ferris wheel ride.
It's true.
I don't know how. I know it's a national championship, but if you've been there for a week, I'm sure you're just a little tired.
No,
you're kind of ready to go. Like I'm sure you're excited. It's national championship, but part of you is probably like, I'd like to sit in my own bed at some point.
Yeah. Well, and maybe the build up tomorrow will be completely different because like now it's this is it.
It's the last day.
Whereas
True.
like when I talked to that person, it was like the first game of the series, so like it's not completely over no matter what happens in this game.
Yeah, I'm sure today was a little more tense for both fan bases. I mean, if you're A&M, and I'm not domming the start they got today was phenomenal, but you do kind of what you want to save for Monday if it's necessary. You know that Tennessee's bats are what they are, so there had to be some nervousness there on kind of what would come up today. Because I mean that's the thing that. If they rolled out, I'm just never going to say his name right, but their stud reliever, their closer, that really puts tomorrow in question for them. And I know a lot of people are sitting there going, "Yeah, I should have put him in earlier." And he can't score runs for him.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still question how good is he going to pitch 1 day rest after 47 pitches? I'm sure he'll be good, but how good is my question.
Yeah. Is he mowing you down? Probably not. I mean,
right. And before I cut out of here, one thing I was going to say about Tennessee, it's one of those things, and I'm not. People are going to be like, "Oh, quick play, it is what it is." I'm not complaining. I'm just saying the way Tennessee was able to make contact, was able to extend ABs there in the 9th inning. It felt like they were really close to getting a hit or two on him.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you think if that game's won any longer. I know how baseball works. Don't talk to me. That. It just feels like maybe Tennessee has a better chance than that. And that's Tennessee's fault, no one else's. It just felt like they were, even though he was still doing his thing, he was still making batters swing at stuff in the dirt. It felt like guys were handling themselves better, putting themselves in better situations to be successful. And it was just too little too late. And that sucks. But I did kind of like how the later part of his appearance went, how that 9th inning went. Even though it all ended poorly, it just felt like Tennessee was getting closer and closer, and it was just too little too late. So as much as I don't want to see him on Monday, I don't fear him for 4 innings. I mean, he's not going to go that long, but it looked like he could have pitched 9 yesterday. He had like 20 pitches through his first like 4 outs.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another big thing. Like Tennessee does work counts, and so does Texas A&M. They do a good job of it too. I think – when I looked at it when we first started the series, I think they led the country in walks. So I'm interested to see kind of how they use him. Do they like if they go up 1-0, are they just slinging him out there to try to like bridge it, or do you try to? Are you confident enough where that game's going to be close enough, or you still have that lead? Because like Cortez was their best bullpen guy other than Alzenbeck.
Yeah.
And they burnt him today. So I don't know who else they have left. I'm sure they got good pitchers. But Tennessee's got a really good one starting, and they got Nate Snead. They got Stamos, they got Causey, Kirby can throw again. So I mean they got plenty of arms.
Not that Combs is maybe they put him in for what did he end up throwing today? What was his total pitch count?
63, so he could.
Okay,
he probably
go
doesn't,
a few,
but
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, probably
he could maybe come in and get you an out.
Right. I was just curious where we stood with him.
Snead through 15. He's good. I mean, hell, Drew Beam through 77. Let's get him out for 25 more pitches.
Just have him in the bullpen, ready to go, man.
Yeah.
And I mean that's the thing. I think you see him early tomorrow, especially if they take an early lead, because he can't score runs for you. You have to put him in when you have a lead. And I think that's why he didn't play today. if they're holding that 1-0 lead later, if they don't give up that driveling 2-run bomb, you see him today. Zero doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
But he can't score your runs, and you're limited in what you can do. So tomorrow's going to be really, really interesting.
I forgot Dylan Lloyd pitched really well last night. I wouldn't hate him coming back in for a little bit. He only threw 22 pitches, so I could see him coming in at some point tomorrow. I know it's like a big ask, but it's like, I know you're a freshman, but dude, you already threw in an SEC championship. You're good.
Yeah. And I feel like
this is just another SEC championship, if we're being honest.
That's all it is. Yeah. I feel like he can go longer too than a guy like Kirby, who sometimes we've seen him go longer than we're used to in Omaha, but just overall. So tomorrow you're gonna see both coaches kind of give everything they got, and then a little extra, I'd say. And I'll say I think Schlossnagle's handled these two games really, really well. Today, I think, was just an example of how dangerous Tennessee's offense can be. Not so much that anything A&M did wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just lost a tight ball game. Like Tennessee did a few things a little bit better than they did. That back pick from Stark, like there was a little things just here and there that Tennessee just kind of edged you out on.
Right.
And yesterday, like you could say the opposite. Like Tennessee had that big third inning where, they have a couple errors and things just kind of fall apart pretty quick. You take away that, I mean, it's how many they scored? They scored 5 in that. So if you take out that third inning, it would have been 4-5. So
yeah,
and very well could have been. Like if Tennessee doesn't have, I think that one, like Dean Curley had one. Who else had one? I forget who it was, but anyway, it could have ended the inning and just couldn't get out of it because of the error. And then Reese Chapman had one. Also, there was a play at the plate where you could have thrown somebody out and didn't. So there was just a couple things in that third inning that kind of caused things to spiral and get away from you where, it was kind of too little too late at the end of that ball game.
Yeah, and talking about Tennessee's mistakes, I think Texas A&M did a good job of taking advantage of some of those. And that's another thing. I don't know if I'd say Texas A&M does necessarily better than Tennessee, but they do it more. They seem to do more of it than Tennessee. Is they try to get those little wins on the base path. Now you saw Tennessee take some chances that is, I don't know if uncharacteristic is the right word, just that I think uncharacteristic would be the right word. I mean, seeing Christian Moore run to second on that fly ball, I feel like you don't see Tennessee get too aggressive in those situations very often. So I mean, it's clear that they're trying to gain an edge there too. Texas A&M is fighting for it. I mean, it's how you see a guy get freaking backpicked again. I don't know why they keep doing it. You think you'd learn. You can't do that with Cal Stark. But they're just trying to gain an edge anywhere, and they do a good job of that. Another big thing, and this isn't a knock on Reese Chapman. I mean, he made an incredible – no, that was Bargo, wasn't it, that made that catch in right field? Bargo came in and did that. But I'm not knocking either of them, but I feel a lot better.
Here's made a good one too yesterday too.
Well, I was just saying I feel a lot better with Hunter Inslee in center field and Kavaris Tears in right field. That makes me feel makes me feel more confident in what you have. And I mean, Dalton Bargo's. That's a tough catch. I don't know if anyone else makes it just because it was a great catch. I don't know if Dalton Bargo could do it again. May have put himself out of position a little bit at the start of it, but makes that grab. So, yeah, as many chances as Tennessee gave up Friday or Saturday and then beginning of this Sunday game really made up for it for the way they handled themselves in the back half of this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like yesterday's game was so weird with the whole Bargo struck out twice and his – when he got put in right field, Reese Chapman just didn't have it, just had a bad day. I don't understand why you couldn't go Colby Backus and give him a shot. Like he made that last out against whatever that game was with Hunter when Hunter Inslee made that.
Would have been
play.
North Carolina, right? No,
Yeah.
Florida State. It would have been.
No, that was North
'Cause
Carolina, right?
Tears was against the second
Yeah,
go around with Florida State. That's
So
right.
yeah, North Carolina. Colby Backus came in there and played center, so they trusted him enough to be in there at that moment. I don't understand why. Just have him there and have KT play his normal position in right field. Now, he made that catch, and I think KT is perfectly capable of playing center field, but maybe you move Colby Backus to right field. I don't know why he wasn't given an opportunity when, everybody at that DH spot and when Hunter Inslee's is out just hasn't really worked out. Now, I do think it is tough, especially with Cal Stark being over 16. It is tough. Like, what do we do? But Tony Vitello has told us Cal Stark is his guy. If he's going to say that, Cal Stark is our guy.
He is our guy, regardless.
Yeah. And so, like, he made that back pick, and he works counts, and, he's batting ninth. It's not like he's batting first. It would be a lot different if he was batting first and being 0 for 16, but he gives you so much defensively that, I mean, and he was a big part of getting you here.
So I saw someone say he doesn't give you enough defensively, and I don't know how much you have to give to be, get that 0 and 16 leash. I think part of it is that you're batting ninth. He does get on base. While he didn't get on base, he did hit a sac fly that was incredibly crucial in that Florida State game, so he can still get you in positions. But in my opinion, you have to go with him defensively. You don't have an option, in my point of view. Whoever says that, I think you're letting anger cloud your judgment of who Cal Stark is. The dude's an excellent catcher. He's a great leader. You need him behind the plate, in my opinion.
He calms down guys when they get too big, and he knows exactly when to go out there and calm somebody down or just chat with them. He's kind of got this whole rotation figured out. I don't know what else you could really. I mean, yeah, sure, 0 for 16 is bad, and need to avoid the strikeouts. I get it. Don't ground into double plays. But let's not forget, like, who was kind of the king of that super regional. It was Cal Stark. Now Christian Moore played a heck of a series too, but that guy in the 9 hole was really big for you. And I just don't get the hate toward a guy that like you said has been such a great leader. And then as soon as he gets all that hate, then he just freaking crushes one to put some insurance and kind of like, I want to say nail in the coffin, because things got a little dicey in the 9th inning, but it felt like Tennessee was in control of that baseball game after he did that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They mentioned why he's up to bat, and he showed it. And love Cal Stark. Again, I just look at what he does behind the plate, and I would never understand the switch in this moment.
And then, like, you can't, like, you the DH spot, you had to go with Peoples. Like, he was your next best option, and I think he's got to be there. He's got to be there tomorrow. I was going to say for the foreseeable future, but I guess that's just tomorrow.
That is.
But I mean, he's getting on base. He's finding a way. Yeah, is he hitting the ball very well? No, but he's drawing walks and avoiding strikeouts. And if you're getting that, I think that's kind of like what you need in that spot right now. And some of those runs in this College World Series or in these last 2 games has been because guys have been on base. You're able to make things a little dicey in the 9th to see Ozenbeck in that situation, and get his pitch count up where they're like, I mean, he probably definitely, if he throws 10 pitches, you definitely see him today.
Yeah.
But now that he got 46, you're like, no, let's just try to get it tomorrow. So I think Cannon Peebles is definitely your best option at that DH role. Does it make it a little? Are you a little nervous because, like, if anything happens to Cal Stark, then you probably got to go Charlie Taylor or even Bargo back there? There's just 1 game left.
Yeah.
All the cards got to be on the table, and I think that's your best 9 right now is with Cannon Peoples at your DH.
Sure. I don't know who you go with the DH. I'm kind of at this point, like Tony, wake up in the morning, just roll a dice, bud. See what number pops up, put him there. I don't know if it matters so much. I'll tell you the one thing that we really need, and I said it going into this College World Series, and going into Omaha. I say it now, going into the final game. You need, and we talked about it, the waves of Kavaris tears, man. The waves. Right now that wave is fully crashed. We need a second one. He did so much for you in the quote-unquote regional side of this World Series. You need him tomorrow. He struggled the past 2 days. I feel like, unfortunately, his waves usually come in the form of series. I hope tomorrow will be the exception. I hope the kid gets up big for a champion, an actual winner-take-all championship game. A lot of guys can fix what their approaches at the plate, but I think that one is the most crucial piece of the puzzle right now.
I agree with that. Yeah. Him and I think Billy Amick is another guy that like you would love to see just have a big day because he hasn't to this point. And it's kind of been a struggle since Omaha, like hasn't had a great performance in there. And, I don't know like what it is. It just doesn't seem that he's seen the ball well. But then you have a guy behind him that's just raking.
Yeah. And with Amick, the one thing that I've liked is I feel like he's done a better job, and maybe it's just the maturity of it. I think his approach has been better than KT's. And it's almost, especially in that first game. Today, didn't notice it as much. I'd probably have to go back and look at the box score. He seemed to be impatient. And I mean, I don't know throughout the season how often he's just swung at every first pitch, but Saturday night it felt like no matter what, man, he was going to take a chance at that first pitch.
Yeah.
And to his credit, Texas A&M throws a ton of strikes. Mm-hmm. You almost feel like you have to, which is similar to Tennessee. Tennessee wants to throw the ball over the plate and try to get guys out of there, but. You need I'm not saying wait on everything, KT, but you need a guy that makes better decisions, has a better approach to the plate, because when he barrels up balls, man, it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it just seems like with 2 strikes, him and Billy, it just seems like this next pitch is they're swinging at it.
They're swinging at it. Yeah, absolutely. We're swinging.
Yeah, so it's been a tough go for those guys, but yeah, get in the cage. I'm sure they're in it probably after this, and they'll be in it tomorrow. So just get your reps in. Like today's a new day, and let's drop bombs.
Oh man, I would love a Kavaris Tears home run in the winner take all national title. I mean, listen, if I'm in the pool. Probably have my tarp off anyways. I'll put it back on just to take it off. I mean, we're going tarps off. I won't be taking my bottoms off. Don't worry. We're not getting that. If we win, I'm never say never, but not for a homer. Mm-hmm. We're going streaking.
Also, like 0-2, I would love for us to be better on the mound. That Laviolette, that home run today was an absolute tank, and it was with 2 strikes. Like that's. Especially 0-2 counts. I mean, that ball should be nowhere. I mean, the first batter of yesterday's game was 0-2, throws one up high in the wheelhouse and just hammers it out. Like that's the little mistakes that can't happen in a winner take all game.
Yeah, if they hit a bomb, I mean, it better be a freaking knot iron. Like, it can't be as easy as it's been in those 0-2 situations. And those are tough and frustrating. And I think that's A&M's got bats too. It's not they're not playing an overmatched Tennessee team. Sure, it's not you don't see it at the same rate that Tennessee has, but they've got it, and those dudes can hit. Is it Laviolette he's got, I think, technically 2 years left, and he's only 6 behind the career home run leader at Texas A&M. Is that who it is?
That's insane. Yeah, I think it is.
That's just dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's been a fun series. As miserable as Saturday night was, at least Tennessee. I shouldn't say at least they take it to game 3. At least they have a chance to still win it. Is how I should more frame that, because it didn't feel like that was going to be the case at the end of Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I didn't think the guys could do it today. Anytime QB1's on the mound, you feel good, but you just sweat it a little bit more. And
yeah,
kinda
for
put all that
whatever
to
reason,
rest.
they just cannot get the bats going when he's on the mound.
No, poor Drew Beam. I mean, sure, he gets hit good in the first inning, but he made it kind of look easy after that, and yeah, just didn't get much help when he was on the mound. But Monday, you go to rubber match, and it's Xander Seacrest on the mound. I feel good.
And there's not one team that has played in more rubber matches than Tennessee. So I think we're prepared for this moment. And there's not a better guy on the mound than what you've had over the last, let's say, month and a half, and that's Xander Seacrest. So I think you got to be having some confidence. I don't know who A&M throws. They probably don't even know who they're going to throw. They're just – Ozenbeck's probably already in the bullpen warming up.
They're throwing the other dude. What's his name? They got one more stud left. I think he's on. I think his pitch count's pretty high for the week because of the way they pitched him. But Lampkin.
Okay, Lampkin's going.
Yeah, I would imagine, right? They don't bring him in out of the
I know
pen.
they had another guy that was kind of their starter. So I guess this was kind of their bullpen game. Because they've kind of had a bullpen game. They've had.
Well, I mean, they went and found a freaking offensive tackle to start for them today. I mean, they didn't. They must not have had anybody left.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Sort of.
Also, he only throws 90. He weighs 280 pounds. Like that dude needs to get some velo going.
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing from. I mean, the ball's just coming down incredibly hard. I agree. It's got to be harder than that. One thing I do want to note about Texas A&M fans, and I guess other teams fans can be upset about the way Christian Moore snapped at Cortez, I guess is what we want to call it. He wasn't very happy with a four pitch walk.
Yeah.
Wasn't very happy with it. That's fine. Other baseball fans, whatever you want to be upset about, it's fine. You can be. Texas A&M fans have no right. You all do this whole thing where you yell forever after 4-pitch walks. You don't get to do that. You don't get to be mad about Christian Moore. That's his own ball 5 that he's yelling right there.
Yeah.
Suck it up. Part of this game. You all do it too. He just was a little more colorful than you with it.
Yeah. Also, how do you not like that? Just that fierce competitor kind of edge that Christian Moore has. He's like, dude, this is the national championship. You just 4-pitch walk me.
Yeah.
You are exactly what he said.
He was just yelling ball 5 at him is all he was yelling.
Yeah.
I can read lips really well. Ball 5. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Justin Lampkin is the guy that'll pitch. He is a 5 ERA, he's 3-2 on the season, 86 strikeouts, 20 walks, 35 earned runs, and 63 innings pitched. So pretty solid, but
you're gonna have a chance to hit him. That's all I heard.
Yeah. I just look at that 5 ERA. That tells me he runs.
Yeah. I think in this game it's going to be crucial for Tennessee to have a lead early. And then by the 3rd or 4th inning, if you can build that lead, then you see Osenbeck, and then you got to sustain until you can hit him out of the game, and then play ball from there. Last 2 innings of the game or anybody's ball game.
Yeah, I mean, you got to work counts, get people on base, and when you do that, you got to get them in. Like that over when guys are on base like that. Tennessee has like 18 runners left on base, something crazy like that.
Through 4 innings today, they had left 8 stranded out. I don't know what the final count was.
Okay, it was 9. So 19 total left on base. That's what the stat sheet says. I mean, maybe that's wrong, but 19 total so far. So need to get that. Also, you struck out 10 times a day. You struck out 17 yesterday. 27 strikeouts so far in 2 games. Like that's
Don't love that.
and a lot like those are coming with guys on base too. That's when it hurts the worst.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's fight.
You're here. You're here.
Christian Moore
win
said
it
it.
all.
Let's fight, baby. I think that's what he said.
All five.
Yeah, I love they're like, yeah, Cortez, he's either really good or really bad. I'm like,
Wow.
please be really bad.
I know. So I was actually coming back from the bathroom when Hunter Ensley hit his home run last night. I thought they had brought Cortez in and then immediately ripped him for Oshtenbeck and then was essentially like, hey, we can pitch you tomorrow. So I'd gotten excited because, I mean, anytime you can get a guy in and hit a homer off of him, done. But that's a good sign. That's why I asked you that if he had pitched yesterday. His only outing against Tennessee, I mean, the kid shoved.
Yeah, and so of course. Of course.
I mean, he's throwing it 3 digits, no problem. And his off-speed pitches are pretty filthy.
So this Lampkin guy, he pitched against Florida twice, the 2 games in Omaha. He had 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts. The first time, the second time he had 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts. So pretty solid. You know what that tells me? He's due for a bad game.
Yep. That's exactly right.
God. So he pitched 70 pitches on the 19th.
So I'm saying I think they're somewhat.
I mean, he can't go like he might go 3 or 4 innings, but that's probably max.
Right. So I'm pulling it up right now to see what Xander had pitched that, which Xander's a little bit, he's similar to Kirby. They both can kind of get out there and throw it around. I mean, Xander had pitched 76.
Okay.
That same day. Hey, he did get like a 3-hour head start.
Okay, maybe that helps. Well, also, like, you're not wanting, like, other than, like, what are they going to do in between Lampkin and Ozenbeck? That's where Tennessee's going to smell blood in the water is during that couple innings where, they're trying to get the ball to him. You're trying to just bridge that, and Tennessee's going to. I think
that's why Tennessee needs that lead because I think if they get a 1-2-0 lead early, I don't think you try to bridge it to Ozenbeck. I think you go to him then and see how deep into the game he can get you with that lead. Because if you let Tennessee, like you said, smell that blood in the water, tie it up, take the lead, and that's in a scenario where you had Lampkin, and then you're waiting to go to Ozenbeck, he can't score your runs. It's too late at that point, I think.
Yeah.
So I think Tennessee needs a scenario where they have to hold Ozenbeck out until late in the game. I think if you're A&M, you want him in somewhat early. As early as Lampkin can go. So, I mean, if you're them, I think you're hoping you can get 4 or 5 innings out of him.
Dude, and this Lampkin has been hit this year. Like, Florida hit him earlier in the year. Auburn had 9 hits, 4 earned runs. South Carolina, 5 earned runs, 6 hits. Vanderbilt, 4 earned runs, 4 hits. Didn't even make it 2 innings. Didn't even make it 2 innings against Alabama. 5 earned runs, 5 hits. Ole Miss did the same thing. So he's been hit. He's not unhittable like maybe he was against Florida. And
Right.
that
and
that
maybe
last
that's-
game against Florida, like they were done.
They played
that
doubleheader
point.
that day.
Yeah.
I mean, well, and maybe that's different too if A&M feels like they're in a position where they can get runs while even if they're down, trying to bridge that gap. But what good is a closer to you if he comes in down three runs, for example?
Sure. Yeah, we don't care about that.
I think that's a great scenario for Tennessee.
Hey, if Tennessee can be up 3 runs, I think A&M is in a world of hurt because, I mean, you've heard it with Kavaris Tears. He said it in the press conference the other day. He was like, when the person in front of me hits a home run, like I want to go up there and hit a home run.
Right.
So, like, if you're compounding runs off these long balls that Tennessee's done in this tournament, everybody else is trying to get theirs too, and it just that's how you run a team out of the ballpark, like Schloss said.
Yeah. No, sure. Yeah, I mean, I think tomorrow is going to be tough for A&M and their staff and how they manage the game with their. I think Tennessee in that sense, while A&M may hold maybe a little bit of an edge, and it's really just Austin-Beck in terms of talent and who they can go to. They're in a position where they kind of got to figure it out, like where to go, because the drop off is steep. Whereas for Tennessee, that next guy up, if they feel like they burned a good arm too early, the next guy up, it's not as steep of a drop off.
Yeah. Yeah. You get 3 innings for Xander, 3 solid innings. I think you feel pretty good about your chances. Now, if you're going 4 and 5, you really like where you're at, because if he's in there that long, he's staying out of trouble and he's shoving. And that means good news for Tennessee's offense.
Which that's another thing that is I like with Xander, and I've mentioned this kind of all year, is that I think his change of pace from A&M, he played a series, what they've seen all weekend. I really like what he brings into and he's still throwing strike. He still throws a lot of strikes too, but his control is a little bit better. And it's just a change of pace, and I think it's a healthy change of pace. But also, they can go to Nate Snead, who can shove if they need to.
Yeah, we just got a question. Monty said, who follows Xander? I assume it would be like Nate Snead.
And I said Nate Snead, but after today, he may not be directly after. It may be something where they throw Kirby in to bridge that.
Yeah, but your long-term guy after Xander is going to be Nate Snead,
Right. I wonder I think it's very situationally if they bring on a guy to get out of the jam, probably Kirby. But if it's just, an inning switch that they're going to the next guy, probably Nate Snead. I think it just depends on the situation.
Yeah. There's one more point I kind of want to make on today's game, and then we can kind of move on and get into some friends we need to talk about. Ariel Antigua's glove is so good, he almost decapitated somebody with it earlier today.
What an idiot to slide into that. He slid into that.
Yeah.
He slid into that.
Yeah. That was basically almost suicide, honestly.
Also, I love that the announcers let us watch it a few times because they were confused on how he was out. The guy that slid halfway between first and second, sure, the ball popped out. He got tagged again after that. They were confused on how he was out.
Yeah.
What's the rule there? I mean, I would assume you're out if he had gotten up, jogged to the dugout without being tagged.
If what? Sorry?
So if he had gotten up from that injury, jogged to the dugout, and they had never ruled him out, I would assume you're just by default out.
Yeah, you're out of the baseline. Yeah, you're out.
Okay, so like announcers, let's use our logic here. He never touched second anyways. He wasn't close. He's out.
He's really out.
He just abandoned second. I mean, the guy gave up on the play. All right. Yeah, that was quite hilarious.
We got one more question here from John. He said, interested to hear, can Snead throw enough strikes? Been inconsistent. We got through 15 pitches. 12 of those are strikes. He only threw 3 balls today. So
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think inconsistent's the right word to use. He has thrown some not ideal balls. That's it.
yeah,
The kid throws it over the plate like you want him to.
and he's won
Or
10
like,
games. He is an
sorry.
ERA of 3.05. I like. There's confidence in the guy. He's thrown almost 74 innings so far this year. Yeah, I think you're pretty solid what you have in Nate Snead. Like you win 10 games with an SEC schedule like Tennessee has, you're okay in my book.
Yeah. He has 6 saves on the year. Didn't realize that. It's fun.
Yeah. I honestly like I know they hit Causey pretty well, but he was throwing pretty good until they kind of hit him late in that 3rd inning. I would like to see him at some point tomorrow. Maybe just come in and get an out or so, but I kind of like where you have him in your back pocket if you need to use him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Before we move on completely, guys, I want to tell you all about our good friends over at Grade A Grounds. Grade A Grounds is a local coffee roasting company based out of Kingsport, Tennessee, owned and operated by 2 educators. If you know anything about educators, they know their coffee. So we're talking the best of the best right here, because they are educators. They don't only want to make great coffee, they also want to support their community. Their main goal as a company is they're going to give back to students in their area. They do that by donating 5% of all sales to a nonprofit organization that supports students all over the Tri-Cities called Coalition for Kids. The money that 5% from all sales goes directly towards keeping a classroom at Coalition for Kids stocked with the necessary supplies needed for students. Another bonus is that you'll see on their labels, those are all made by students in those classrooms displaying their artistic talents. Actually, some new labels that were released this week, so make sure you go check those out. GradeAGrounds.com. Promo code GOVOLS, capital G, capital V, for 10% off your purchase today. Make sure you guys go check them out. GradeAGrounds.com. Shout out to Grade A Grounds.
Shout out. All right. National championship. Let's get on to football a little bit. Got another big recruit that committed to Tennessee over the weekend. Another big recruiting weekend for the Vols. As they hosted a ton of prospects and some already guys committed, but a big commitment. Charles House, 4-star defensive lineman. Defensive lineman with last name House just seems right. Just seems right.
Yeah, you love it.
6'3", 300 pounds from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's weird, like his choices were Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. First of all, dog. Choosing Tennessee over those 2, dog. Already a household favorite. The weird thing about it is On3 Sports has him as a 4-star. Everybody else is like, seems like behind the times. I feel like if you're choosing between Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama, you're an automatic 4-star in my book. Okay. From everybody.
Fair. I mean,
that's just me. I mean, especially a defensive lineman. I mean, Rodney Garner wants you, 4-star. Georgia wants you,
immediate.
Got to be a 4-star. Otherwise, I don't even think they like send you an offer.
I don't see Kirby handing out pity offers. No. So I think you're right.
So a big get for Tennessee landing Charles House and just continuing to make the most out of those official visits and land commitments. And you've had 2 back-to-back weekends, and hopefully there's more down the road. But coming out of it, I know other people take more visits, and it is kind of early, but getting those guys on campus and having them on official visits and then go ahead and making that decision, I think tells me you're doing something right over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Some good football recruiting news lately. I'm gonna be honest, don't care. We're playing for national championship.
Okay.
But I will care next week. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Getting ahead of the curve for me. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. House like on the back of a jersey with number like 99. That just seems like That's going to be fun to see.
Is he going to be number 99? Or are you speculating?
No, I'm speculating, but
What if he has a 0?
That would also be pretty cool. Also be pretty cool. Yeah, didn't have a lot else for that, but did want to mention another big recruit that Tennessee landed, and
yeah,
I'm sure that will be the talk of the off season. Is a lot of recruiting, a lot of fall camp, and off season talk that we just got to fill content with. So after baseball, it is kind of sad. Like tomorrow is the last day of baseball. Tomorrow is also if you win that game, you've won 60 games in a season.
Here's the good news, though. While that does suck, let's look on the little silver lining, if you will. It is the last day of baseball, but it is the last day of baseball for everyone, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a part of it. So that's the bright side of that.
You could be the last team that didn't end their season with a loss.
There's only one. There can only, I guess teams that didn't make it no matter what could do that.
Yeah, but
that's
lost.
not the same.
Yeah, you lost.
Not the same. That's the flip side of that. If you're really bad and you're not going to make the conference tournament, just go win your last game and you can kind of hang it up on a high note, you know?
Yeah. What if you do lose that one, though? That's pretty tough.
Yeah, then it really sucks. We weren't going to talk about that, but
the good thing is I think with Tony Vitello, and he's going to get him a nice extension here pretty soon. I don't think we have to worry about not making the postseason. I mean, if we are in – if it's close, I think we just get somebody on the committee like Florida did and make sure we get in that way.
Content idea, though. Did you hear Pav say that he wasn't going to get a girlfriend until he won a national championship?
Yes.
I think we –
That's what Luke said that?
Or Luke Lipsius, sorry.
Yeah.
Connor. Yes, Luke Lipsius. Two good guys, mess them up all the time. I think we host a bachelor this offseason if
cool.
They win it. Yeah, I think More Important Issues presents.
Honestly, though, going through the amount of applications that you would get would be rough.
I think there'd be some good videos. That Hawk Tua girl was probably one of the early. It will be an early entry. I gotta imagine.
She'll be a fan favorite.
I'm sure she would. I think. Yeah. Actually, you know what? You're invited on, girl.
Yeah.
Hawk Tua girl. You can be on the show.
That's awful.
Who else can we pull?
I mean, do we just like throw Taylor Swift in there just for the fact that somebody might believe it and it becomes like national
Taylor
news?
Swift's going to be on Tony's season of The Bachelor, but
Okay.
It's not. It's our Bachelor. We're doing it.
Yeah.
This is put on by More Important Issues.
Okay.
Jackie Pearl. She needs a man. It's a good Tennessee connection. Oh, Lane Kiffin's ex-wife that was here that named her son after Knoxville.
Oh,
Layla.
okay. Okay.
Layla will be on it. Bruce Pearl's ex-wife as well, who stayed in Knoxville.
Do they have to have Tennessee ties? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I know. I was just trying to think of some. You know,
Okay.
you can throw out anybody. I was just trying to think of some good Tennessee ties that might make sense.
Kim Caldwell is married, right?
Yes, I think her husband is on staff or was on staff at Marshall, maybe.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess she's out.
Yeah, unfortunately, it would be a beautiful love connection, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. It would probably end terribly, though. So,
yeah, that'd blow up in our face for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably some weirdos out there with a Tennessee connection we could get on.
Yeah.
Chasing some clout.
Yeah, we could.
I got one in mind I won't share publicly until it's said.
What about that girl?
I've got a private one
that was like dating Shaquille O'Neal for a long time. That was from like Maryville. Hoops, was that her name?
Sure. I don't know.
She was on like
I'm in.
Flavor of Love, and she ended up dating Shaquille O'Neal after.
Yeah, love that show. Get
Yeah.
her on.
Okay. Snooki.
Thinking about just.
I think we just
thinking
go
about-
reality TV people.
Yeah, if we're doing MTV shows, Chanel West Coast.
Okay.
Make her Chanel East Coast.
There's no way Tony likes her laugh.
No chance. You gotta have her on though.
Okay.
You gotta have an easy out.
Yeah.
Ask any baseball coach.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, this could be fun.
We're
can
doing
make
it.
a couple
If they win,
episodes
we're
out of
doing
that.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's happening. Okay, send us your best name. Send us who has to be on the show,
Okay.
and we'll make it happen. We have that kind of pool.
I'm in. All right. Little most important.
Yeah. I don't know if is my camera. Can you still hear me if I click out of that or?
Yeah, I can. Also,
Like right
it
now?
is. Yeah, I can hear you. It is funny that Cal Stark's Jello shot projection was way off.
Yeah. What do you say? Like 2,600?
Yeah. It's like 25,000 right now.
Good guess, kid. Good guess.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
and
have
I think
Clay
like
Travis-
Josh Dobbs has showed up.
Yeah, Folky was out there. Clay Travis is buying 1,000 Jello shots.
Oh wow! Thanks, Clay. That's a lot. Then you talk about being a millionaire all the time. You can't spend a little more money.
Yeah, $5,000. That's it.
Yeah.
I spend that on Tennessee baseball every year.
Yeah, that's. Oh, it was $5,000.
Well,
He's buying 1,000 Jello shots. Okay,
yeah.
that's better.
Yeah.
Still disappointing, but better.
Yeah, and then to post about it.
Oh, he
You
didn't
can't-
post it about it.
Yeah, he said just bought 1,000 orange Jello shots to put Tennessee back in the lead over A&M. If you're in Omaha, head to Rocco's and let's have a great Game 3. Go Vols.
Here's where I'll respect you, Clay. You hang in there, and every time they take the lead, you just buy another 1,000.
Okay,
Even
that's what he has to do.
Even if it's by one, they take the lead by one. You buy another 1,000. Boom.
Yeah,
I respect that.
it's like Dwight when he's doing the auction and 1 penny.
Yeah. My first one is we're going to kind of overlap some Copa America. Shout out to the U.S. men's national team. They beat Bolivia this afternoon after Tennessee won. Taylor Twellman, he tweeted about Tony Vitello. Taylor Twellman and Tony Vitello grew up playing Little League baseball together. If you don't know Taylor Twellman, he's a commentator now, played for the U.S. men's national team for some time. Grew up playing Little League baseball together and played against each other in soccer. And he just had good things to say about Tony, said he respected him, and he's a great dude on and off the field. And that's an interesting connection. I need to talk a little ball with Tony. And I know a lot of people are thinking baseball. No, we got to talk some soccer. His dad's a championship winning coach. I am not. We'll have some things to talk about for sure. I'm curious his thoughts on formations. If he was a goal scorer, what was his role on the field? If he played with against Taylor Twellman, I got to think he had a little game to him.
Okay, yeah. This can be like a segment on like Tony V's home run love or whatever.
Yeah, it'll just cut to me and him sitting on like a red heart-shaped couch talking soccer.
I'm sure there'll be so many people tuning in for that.
And is it Greg? Is that his dad? Greg will be those too. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, that's what we'll do. Instead of doing The Bachelor, do you remember the show with the parents? What was it called? On MTV, where the parents would pick out dates for him.
Oh yeah.
We'll get Greg involved.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. Maybe mix in some aspects of the next show. I really like the Next Bus.
What was that show with the parents?
With the parents, I cannot remember. Parental Control.
Okay.
I think that's what it was called. Sounds right. I have to Google it now.
Was that
Did
your
you
most
like
important?
Taylor's Woman? Yeah.
Okay. My most important. Let's just go to it real quick. Also, I have a great story that we're gonna like. If Tennessee wins, we're gonna post it.
Okay.
I can tell you after the show, but
Okay.
I'm not doing it unless Tennessee wins. But it's going to be awesome.
Do I know this story?
You do not know.
Okay. Well, this sucks that I'm going to have to hang in here for like the next 10 minutes and just wonder.
Yeah. Just
So
know like we have a story
really fun
about this series, and it's going to come out if we win. If we lose, I'm not doing it because I don't really care.
Okay.
My most important was just like the Tennessee baseball program from what it was to what it is now.
Yes, that's a good one.
I mean, did I love like the dirt field, like how it looked? Yeah, it looked great. Grass was perfect. Guess what? They didn't win baseball games, so
I was
very
going to
many
say,
baseball games.
A lot of your responses, and some people followed suit, so responses to those tweets. I do have a fail for all the people that are bring the grass back. First off, we suck with grass. I don't think those two things correlate perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, they don't lose many practice days now. They hardly ever have games rained out now. There's a reason. Tony Vitello wasn't like, I hate dirt, go to turf. He did it for a reason. He wanted turf for a reason. We need it. Shut up about the stinking grass, you old man. Go mow your own and worry about it. Baseball played on grass. No, it's not. Otherwise, it wouldn't be played on turf as well. We get to play grass this week. Enjoy it. Or be miserable and tweet about how much we choked. I don't care. But shut up about Lindsey Nelson and grass. I would love grass. Grass looks beautiful. We're going to play on turf. Until God himself changes the weather, we're going to play on turf.
Until we like get a dome, and then we'll play on grass again, maybe.
Yeah, get Danny to build the roof.
Yeah. But I do miss like the promos. The promos were cool back then. Like they had to like fight to get people in the stadium. So like they're like, hey, 50-cent hot dogs, or hey, it's cold out there, and I know this is a game where Tennessee's playing Iona. Like you can get free hot chocolate, like stuff like that. They don't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, one time they tricked me into coming to the stadium. They didn't even tell me a baseball game was going on. It was some giveaway. I showed up and there was a baseball game happening. I was like, what's going on? I didn't even know we had a team at this point.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It was I remember a few series from those days pretty I wouldn't say vividly. But those memories were only shared with about 50 of my closest friends. I mean, I remember a Vanderbilt game there one year. 2012 maybe. I don't know. Vanderbilt series. There might have been 150 people there, 200. I don't even know if all the parents showed up. Yeah, we don't need to go to that one.
Yeah. And that was before it was like where you could stream it. Now you can stream all the games, and you still can't get a ticket.
Right. It's nice to be where we're at. Don't forget the hard times.
Yeah, another most important, new hats.
They're beautiful, man.
University Traditions, shout out. Go get yours today. Just a great hat, awesome hat. Joey had it on earlier. I don't know if he want to get into this, but he can show his off too again.
I've already worn mine on the golf course.
Yeah, did it get a little dirty?
Nope.
No.
That's the great thing about the black bill too, is where if you play golf, grass, dirt ends up on your hands and fingers eventually. And when you go to adjust the hat or take it off to wipe sweat, that white bill just kind of gets a little dirt on it sometimes. Not the black bill. Doesn't do it.
I like that. Yeah, shout out to University Traditions. Go check them out. Fail.
Yeah, fail. I mean, go back here real quick.
I got all the hate the CalStar got. I mean, I love a great do it to kind of change the juju there, but guys, let's
chill.
Yeah,
calm down.
Stop tweeting that crap. I mean, if you want to say it out loud, like in your own home, feel free. I don't care. I've said some things too, but I would not tweet those out. So,
like what?
I don't know. But here's the thing: hits a tank and then goes in the dugout and just smashes an Uncrustable. So
Love it, baby.
there's
Love to
nothing
see it.
like it.
No. I've got a Twitter account specifically. The guy's name is Leon Fish.
Okay.
Leon, Leon Fish. Because I want people to. You might want to look this up. Feesh. First off, this dude should probably be institutionalized, but it was quite the funny scroll. If you go to his Twitter account, he only follows like 7 people, maybe 1 follower. I don't know. The one person he really follows though is Arian Foster. He just tweets at Arian Foster, responds to all of his tweets, and he'll say something about him fumbling in the 2007 Outback Bowl. Like Arian Foster will be like, "That's a really difficult golf shot," and he'll be like, "Was it as difficult as holding on to the football in the 2007 Outback Bowl?" That's all of his tweets. It's insane. I mean, I respect the dedication to it. It's insane, and that person does need to be put into a mental hospital. I do respect the guy also for not saying Arian Foster fumbled a lot, because that's also just revisionist history. It's not true. He did fumble in the 2007 Outback Bowl. So again, respect his accuracy to history, and respect that he's tweeted at him nonstop for like 3 years. But that person should not be allowed to vote or procreate. He or she should not be allowed to have children. No one should suffer Leon Fish.
Leon Fish.
Not as bad as that one Twitter account you found that was just responded to girls, but
Oh my God.
what was the name again?
Whoa, what was his name? Dang it. It was a recruit's name, and that's how we found it.
That's right. It wasn't even Tennessee related necessarily.
No. Oh.
We looked it up though. Unfortunately, well, probably fortunately, it's not there anymore. Yeah, that was crazy. Also, speaking of Twitter, did you see Elon Musk ask how many people call it X? He's like, how many people still call it Twitter? Everyone still calls it Twitter, bro. Yeah. He's like, X is better. No, it's not.
It's honestly the same. It's just a different name.
I think the platform has become so much worse.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like taking away likes. What the heck?
Well, the way you can't really follow live events anymore because it's out of just complete. And I've tried people. You can't. I promise you can't. And then also all of the freaking like bot posts I see, I'm sick of it. I'm even like talking about on like For You page, whatever it's called. It is the farming of interactions. God, it's exhausting. It used to be my favorite platform. It's died a slow, painful death at the hands of the creator of probably the ugliest truck I've ever seen in my entire life. Did you see? I saw one in South Knoxville on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that.
The dude saw me taking a picture of it, and I bet he thought he was so cool. And I'm like, no, I'm clowning you, bro. Not impressed at all by the size of your Cybertruck.
Dude, I wish I could freaking find that dude's name. Terrence Lewis, that's who it is. I'm going to look him up tonight just to see if he's still out there. I mean, he would reply to any female's picture and just be like, I can show you a good time, honey.
And Leon Fish is like, as good of a time as Arian Foster had fumbling the football for 2007 Outback Bowl.
Yes. All right. Any more fails?
No, I need to hear the story, so get me out of here.
Okay. Guys, go check out Roback, roback.com. Use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off your first purchase. They got the best hoodies, polos, joggers, pants, shorts. They even got some swimming trunks now out there. So, guys, go check them out. Roback.com. Use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off your first purchase. Let's go win a natty.
Let's do it.
Go Vols. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.